There's one question that kept Hollywood unusually quiet for a long time. How did someone whose entire brand was built on the message "be kind" end up being described behind the scenes as distant, difficult, and even intimidating? That question followed Ellen DeGeneres for years. For nearly 2 decades, she remained one of the most dominant figures on daytime television. The Ellen DeGeneres Show ran for almost 20 years and became one of the most successful talk shows in the United States. But when it abruptly came to an end, people began wondering what had really been happening off camera. Over time, more voices suggested that Ellen's public image might not have matched her private behavior. And throughout all of this, one person had long warned that Hollywood often presents multiple faces, none of them entirely trustworthy.
Those one world people exist because it's a very powerful concept to have and far too lucrative and beneficial to not. Everybody is a supplier. Epstein, Weinstein, like these guys knew what these extremists liked and provided it. And provided the way for you to to have $1 billion and not create a fantasy island type environment has not existed throughout history.
Katt Williams has built a reputation for openly criticizing the entertainment industry. Unlike many comedians who avoid controversy, Katt has consistently spoken bluntly about what he believes happens behind the scenes. He's often said that in Hollywood, people don't just act when the cameras are rolling. They stay in character even when they're off-screen. So when stories about Ellen's workplace environment began surfacing, many people were reminded of the warnings he had been giving for years. Ellen's rise didn't begin with immediate fame. She was born on January 26, 1958 in Metairie, Louisiana, and worked regular jobs before stepping into comedy. In the early 1980s, she started performing stand-up in small venues. Then, in 1986, she got a major break when she appeared on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, who invited her to sit on the iconic couch, a moment that, at the time, signaled a comedian had truly made it. From there, her career steadily expanded.
This is so hard, but I think I've realized that I can't even say the word. Why can't I say the word? I mean, why can't I just say... I mean, what is wrong? Why do I have to be so ashamed? I mean, why can't I just say the truth? I mean, be who I am. I'm 35 years old. I'm so afraid to tell people. I mean, Susan, I'm gay.
During the 1990s, she starred in her sitcom Ellen. And in 1997, she made headlines by publicly coming out on the cover of Time magazine. This happened during a period when her show was competing with major hits like Friends and Seinfeld. At that time, her announcement was considered a bold and risky move in Hollywood. Not long after, her show was canceled and opportunities became limited. For a while, it seemed like her career might not recover. However, in 2003, Ellen made a surprising comeback with the Ellen DeGeneres Show. This time, she returned with a carefully defined image centered on positivity and kindness. Each episode ended with the phrase, "Be kind to one another," which became her signature message. The show quickly grew into a massive success. Over the years, she produced thousands of episodes, won numerous Daytime Emmy Awards, and hosted countless A-list celebrities. She remained at the top for years, until reports about her treatment of staff began to surface.
TV producer is speaking out on camera for the first time about what it was like working for Ellen DeGeneres.
Toxic, phony, hypocrite, liar. That's what she is.
Hedda Muscat was with Ellen from the beginning in 2003 when the talk show was launched.
We were told from the very beginning, don't talk to Ellen, don't do this, you can't, go into her office. It was very nerve-wracking, very stressful. We all walked on eggshells all the time.
Muscat says despite Ellen's Queen of Nice reputation, it became clear early on that it would not be a pleasant place to work. One incident with executive producer Ed Glavin left her shaken.
We were in our production meetings and she would watch Ed go off on people. Ellen would look at Ed and she would laugh because I was hoping she was going to say, Ed, you can't be yelling at crew this way. You can't be yelling at people this way. She laughed and she said, every production needs their dog.
Meaning
Ed is her dog.
Like her attack dog.
Her attack dog. So therefore, she doesn't need to do that. He took the role of being the attack dog, that she didn't have to now be the attack dog. So she didn't have to yell.
So when Ellen says she's not aware of this environment, you don't think that rings true?
It's a lie.
Muscat won 2 daytime Emmys with the show. She was let go in 2004.
As a host, she's amazing. As a host. But as a boss and someone who's behind the scenes running the show, she's a different person. She's not the person people see.
For a long time, her be kind persona went largely unquestioned. But once criticism started emerging, people began revisiting older clips. One frequently discussed moment involved Taylor Swift, where Ellen repeatedly pushed her to talk about her dating life. When Taylor tried to avoid the topic, it was turned into a game featuring images of male celebrities. Another widely shared clip featured Dakota Johnson, who calmly corrected Ellen on air after being accused of not inviting her to a birthday party, saying that she had in fact been invited. That moment stood out to many viewers as one of the first times someone openly challenged Ellen during an interview. A third incident involved Mariah Carey during a time when rumors about her being pregnant were circulating. Ellen brought out champagne and suggested that drinking it would prove the rumors false. Mariah appeared uncomfortable, but eventually took a sip.
It's toast to you not being pregnant. If you're not pregnant, then we should.
Oh my goodness. I can't believe her.
Mariah Carey is opening up about this uncomfortable 2008 appearance on the Ellen DeGeneres Show.
Why would we toast to that? How about to the future?
Yeah, you can really...
And for both of our futures, who knows what they hold?
Who knows? All right, go ahead.
Okay, cheers.
Cheers.
The clip of Ellen trying to pressure the singer into drinking champagne as a way to offset pregnancy rumors recently resurfaced on Twitter, following allegations of a toxic workplace environment on the show.
People are saying that that you're pregnant. There's rumors.
Don't discuss that.
All right. Well, you don't have to answer.
No, that's okay. No, honestly,
you don't have to answer me. Let's just toast with champagne.
Now, in an interview with Vulture, Mariah is addressing that extremely uncomfortable moment with DeGeneres, telling the mag that she's really had a, quote, hard time grappling with the aftermath.
I can have some champagne. It's just fattening. So,
you can have champagne?
That's not champagne because you can't.
No, it is.
The singer, who married then-husband Nick Cannon about 6 months prior to her sit-down with Ellen, did everything she could to dodge the TV personality's persistence.
You want to taste it?
I can't believe you did this to me, Ellen.
What? No,
Are you trying
I'm
to
not
just...
going to ask you if you're pregnant or
This
not.
is peer pressure. Do you see what Ellen is doing? This is peer pressure. I was like, why does she keep talking about champagne?
At one point, Mariah even claimed it was too early to drink, just before appearing to take a small sip.
Go ahead.
Okay, cheers.
Cheers.
It's too early for me.
Yeah.
I only drink it after 3 p.m.
Yeah. You're pregnant. You're pregnant.
No.
Years later, she revealed that she had been pregnant at the time and later suffered a miscarriage. When people revisited that interview, it sparked criticism about whether the situation had been handled insensitively. As these clips resurfaced, public perception began to shift. What once seemed like harmless humor started to look different to some viewers. It raised a broader question. Was Ellen's public persona fully genuine? According to Katt Williams, Hollywood often constructs carefully managed images. In his routines and interviews, he has described how celebrities can become characters shaped by the industry. He has suggested that some individuals maintain a polished public identity to hide what might be revealed if that image ever slipped. He has also made controversial claims about performers changing aspects of themselves to fit industry expectations.
I don't care how people feel about the ritual. It's about, does following the ritual work?
Yeah.
And so you can fool yourself into thinking there isn't one, but the evidence will be clear. So like when I be like, oh, these guys are wearing dresses, everybody's like, oh, he keeps talking about people wearing dresses. No, it's not.
That is a weird thing.
It's not like that. Look at it from a different way. Look at it. Show me one person that ever wore a dress in Hollywood unsuccessfully. That's how you understand what a ritual is. So 20 years ago, I knew that transgenders was going to be a thing. It wasn't because I was a prophet. It's just I had gotten so much information that I understood that things are secular. So I understood that the earliest I had seen that word transgender was Baphomet, the transgender. And so I knew that in the ritual of Baphomet, the transgender, to show allegiance to him, you had to kiss his ring.
Really?
And it said both of those things. So I knew that both of those things will become popular in the future, and that somehow calling people the GOAT would be normalized.
To the public, celebrities often appear cheerful, charismatic, and controlled. But critics argue that reality can sometimes be far more complicated. There have even been claims from people connected to the industry, including individuals associated with figures like Richard Pryor, suggesting that certain gatherings behind closed doors involved behavior far removed from what audiences see publicly.
And it's supposed to be the shit, but but I didn't understand that. I'm with a black man that owns his house in Malibu. That's unheard of. Flip made it clear. He said, yeah, there's other black people here. Miles Davis is down the street. He's renting. So-and-so, he's renting. I own my But I still didn't get it because I'm young. It's like, this is some boring shit out here on Malibu, the white people left and right. What's going on? So Flip one day looked at me and said, oh, you want to see the shit? I don't know what the shit is, but I want to see something other than Malibu. And he took me to the parties. He took me to the shit to make me understand this is why I don't be around me. And so you seen the orgies. You seen the people that was the stars and the that they was doing. And the smells and the looks in their eyes. And I was, in my youth, I kept a cutlass on me. And so I know I'm walking around holding my cutlasses because you seen people in states of mind that you never experienced nothing like that. I knew people that got high, but they didn't get high and did the that I was seeing. And so after I was exposed to it, Flip took me around it about 4 or 5 times. And then he said to me, you see why I don't fuck with that. Because, you had the group of people that painted their fingernails black, what they call Illuminati now. It was some kind of clique then. And in this clique, we wife swap and all this kind of shit. You can fuck my wife and stand there and watch. And I seen it. I literally seen all these things, and it was like, okay. And in my youth, I wasn't afraid, but I knew I would have hurt somebody if I was approached.
This ties back to Katt Williams' broader argument that Hollywood operates through power, image, and silence. When controversies surface, the public often sees only parts of a much larger story. At the same time, there are real victims connected to cases like Jeffrey Epstein, whose experiences are far more serious than online speculation. One such voice is Maria Farmer, who has spoken publicly about her experiences related to Epstein. In interviews, she described how many young women were vulnerable when they first encountered him. Some came from difficult backgrounds, while others were simply trying to support themselves financially. Epstein would present what seemed like simple opportunities, such as offering money for small tasks, which made the situation appear harmless at first.
You're in this position of struggling at home, and all of a sudden you're just taken into this world, owned by this man that's saying, I run the government, I run the banks, I know some of the most influential and wealthiest people on the planet.
We could see it too. We could see it too. Like he had pictures, he had pictures with everybody there, all these prominent people that are on the files now. I'm not going to start naming them, but they're all there. And when we look at this as a child, we're like, oh my God, like celebrities too. Right. He would put us on the phone with celebrities. He would put us on the phone with some of these prominent people that are in the files. And he would brag with these people that he was getting a massage by young girls. He would not say how old we were, but he would say we were young. Sometimes we'd be like, oh, I have a young, European girl here, or I have a young Brazilian girl here. So he talked to these people about getting these massages every day. Because if he was in New York, he was getting a massage every day. If I was there, I would see a girl coming down and I would just think it's a girl from Yale because he said he had, he had connections with Yale, Harvard, and so many different colleges. And I would just think, because he's a brain surgeon, he's probably, given a lesson or I don't know what he's doing, or, maybe he's helping this girl out. I don't know, but I would be waiting for him and there would be a girl coming down. And when I would go upstairs and I would come down, there would be another girl waiting for him. That's 3 girls in a matter of...
She also described feeling overwhelmed and unsure of whom to trust when authorities became involved. Epstein's access to legal resources only added to the confusion. Years later, she still believes that many details about the case remain hidden, including large amounts of documentation that the public has never fully seen.
Truth has come out, or do you think there's a significant gap between what we know now and what is to come out?
I think there's a lot more that they want us to know. They put out what they want us to know, right? We have 3 other million files that haven't been let out, that haven't dropped yet, and sometimes I wonder, I'm like, why are we even going to let 3 million of the files out when we're not doing anything about these 3 million files, right? But us as Americans, we deserve this transparency and we deserve to see these other 3 million files. But it does keep us wondering, why are they holding these other 3 million files back? And we have to think about this. Who really has gone through 3 million files? So what is in those files? Right now, we're just really focused on serious allegations, doing absolutely nothing about it. So I think there is more to this than...
As the Epstein case continues to unfold, more public figures have weighed in. One of the more outspoken voices has been Umar Johnson, who has argued that the situation goes beyond a single individual. In his view, Epstein represented a much larger network involving power, influence, and wealth. Some interpretations suggest that what the public sees may only be a portion of a bigger story.
Nothing in the Epstein file that was not done on the plantation. Hundreds of thousands of documented cases against children. You still Catholic, but you got a problem with Epstein? Any Jew in the world, even if you're accused of, is this what they use it for? What do all any Jewish, what do? They assume their right of return and they move back to Israel alone. There's been stories done on pedophiles that the Jewish government will not extradite to America. You hear that? Because they have a right of return. You mean to tell me Jeffrey Epstein would not have activated his right of return before they came and arrested him? No way. Loon, there's no way you're gonna tell me an intelligence agent for Mossad could not have gotten out of America and gotten back to Israel. Right. I don't think he's dead. I think it was a setup.
Because it is a freaky accident.
Remember, when you know something is coming down the pike, you control it. Mm-hmm. This is about to get out. We gotta serve you up. But you're gonna go into exile. We're gonna remake you, whatever. You feel me? Right. We got to serve you up. Because if we don't serve you up, they're gonna keep looking for other people. We can't afford the big dogs to get caught. You feel me?
Right.
Jeffrey, you did a good job. We pulling you off the public work. You feel me? You're gonna get your face done over. Nobody, we got new passport. Remember, these are the...
Yeah, the top of the top, 1% of the 1%.
We got a new passport, new house. There is no Jeffrey Epstein. He got a whole new name. He Frank James.
He watching all this unfold.
Come on! You feel me?
For sure.
Playing cards with Saddam Hussein. And Osama bin Laden, they over there playing hopscotch. You feel me?
Man, that's
Bro,
deep.
They gave us Epstein because he's low. Think about it, Loon. These the big dogs. We gotta protect the big dog. You got to fall on the sword for us.
Yes, sir.
He's still gonna let you get your girls and all. You feel me?
While there is no confirmed evidence supporting many of these broader theories, the lack of complete answers has kept speculation alive. Around the same time, renewed attention has also been placed on Epstein's ranch in New Mexico, which investigators have revisited as part of ongoing inquiries. Whether people agree with these interpretations or not, one thing remains clear. Even years after Epstein's death, many believe the case is still unresolved. Questions continue to linger about who was involved and what might still come to light.
Big property, and this allegation is not even clear about when these people were allegedly buried there, which makes me wonder, even if you were digging, what could you potentially find? What would be left over?
you're going to have skeletal remains at this point. These allegations purport that this happened so long ago. And so not only did they say that these are possibly minors, so you have smaller bodies that are potentially buried, you have scavengers that are in this area, again, animals that are indigenous to this area that are, again, it is very hard to dig a grave unless you have special equipment. So, and especially on that type of terrain. So did they have special equipment? We know that, you know, supposedly these people have a lot of money, they have a lot of resources. So if they tapped into those resources, they could have done this properly. But again, that's why the technology piece of this is going to be so important, to be able to see where they could have possibly buried someone. And then the amount of time that has passed, it's going to be grown over. You're not going to be able to see, you know, freshly disturbed ground as you would for someone who has maybe been recently buried. And so again, this is going to take a long time, and those excavation efforts are probably just going to reveal skeletal remains, which then you're going to have to extract DNA from possibly the femur bones. And then who are these supposed minors that were there? Do their families know that they're missing? Where were they trafficked from? So not only are you trying to pinpoint country of origin, possibly, since they said that these minors were possibly from foreign countries, now you're going to have to try to track down family utilizing DNA. Skeletal remains, again, you look at the femur bone, you're trying to gather the DNA from there, but what else could you do?
So what do you think is really happening behind the scenes in Hollywood? Share your thoughts in the comments below.